What's up, guys? It's Powerbang here, and this is the next episode of Rate My Base. Now, the first episode was very well received, had a lot of requests to rate, other people's bases that were submitted to me. So before I go any further, let's talk about how you can submit your base to me for a base review. A couple different options exist. Look in the bottom part of this video. You're going to see a link to my Twitch live stream, and I do base reviews there from time to time. You can also download the Bindle app at bindlechat.com and join the Powerbang Gaming channel. At this channel, we talk all kinds of Clash, whether it's attacking strategies, base reviews, just general stuff there. So definitely do that. That's where you can find me, and that's where you can get me your bases. So today, we have 4 bases to look at. There's going to be 2 Town Hall 9s and 2 Town Hall 8s. So let's get straight into it. This is the first base that was submitted, and this is a Town Hall 9 base. Now, he's had a little bit of success with this base. And, let's look at it, both from the air and from the ground perspective. Now, from the ground, we're looking for potential double giant bomb positions. We can see one over here. We can see one up in the top left there, obviously where the bombs exist, both here and here. That location, kind of one over behind the mortar here, it looks like. And then that's about it for those that make sense. Kind of anywhere up in this area here and here. So to analyze those, we're looking for double giant bomb positions that are potentially between 2 defense buildings, and this position qualifies. This position pseudo qualifies, even though there is a wall piece in between there. This position qualifies, and same with this one. So other than that, every other position shown here does not necessarily have 2 defense buildings on either side of the position to drag those hogs across. Now, to rule those out, as far as, when you're looking at this base from a scouting perspective, this position up here is pretty much out, just due to the ease that it can be tripped. You could send in 1 hog over the wall there to target the cannon or the archer tower. That position is taken care of. So what that means to me is that you have 3 potential double giant bomb positions, and they are all in a very, very close proximity to each other. So what does that mean? While you're basically going to take out the archer queen here, you have a very, very obvious route in which to take, and it's going to be coming from this side of the base. Now, if you're going to do that, the easiest position to get a successful jump spell down to access that queen is on this compartment right here. That will open up 2 of those double giant bomb positions, this one here and this one there. Those will be eliminated. The only one remaining in the base will be this one, and more than likely, you're going to have your archer queen and your golems as the golems path in. The golems should head and peel off this direction, and will likely take out all of these buildings over here in this compartment with the help of the archer queen, and that will eliminate the pathing to this bomb section over here. So all the bombs in the base can basically be neutralized on the entry. So that's the first thing I see here. That's a very significant problem. So that, looking at the hog perspective, trying to protect from 3 stars, that's one thing. Now, looking from the air perspective, if we take a look at this base, we've got the air defenses here, 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 and here. Now, multiple of those air defenses are, 2 of them can be taken out at once by any entry in between them. So here, here, and here are all likely to be taken out, 2 air defenses with a couple golems. Now, where would likely to be a shattered entry, and that is going to be on those 2 air defenses to approach the queen from that side, and or these 2 air defenses. So both of those could be taken out, and you'll notice that both of those popular, approach angles to take that air defense out, you're going to notice that they're going to get both sweepers as well, regardless of which way they come from. So the air attack is pretty much going to run your base over, and the same thing with the Exo being right there. The only real protection that you have is the stall game, and that is basically using the storages down here to help prevent, you basically have to cross your fingers for low-level heroes, because anything with, beefier heroes is going to take this base out no problem if they, scout it properly. Now, to look at this base, if we're going to analyze it for whether we're going to tweak it or whether we're going to scrap it, you have to look at where could we move these bombs to. That would make more sense, preferably, somewhere over here or over here. But to be honest, there are no positions or open spaces in the base currently that will, make it so he could move those bombs around and successfully, create a good double giant bomb position away from the queen, and that is going to trigger properly. So as far as triggering properly goes, if we look at these bomb sets here and how we can approach them or how we can trigger them, let's first look at how hogs will path. Now say we approach from this direction and get on this Tesla, hogs path to the mortar, and from that point they can either path into the air defense, in which they'll trigger those bombs one at a time, or they will come over here to this archer tower, here to the cannon. They also might go to the cannon here and then out to the archer tower. But either way, it looks like the hogs kind of may mostly path around this section. So that position needs some work. That extra wall spacing there does not help. On the other position, it looks like hogs come into this tower here, and they will head over here to these archer towers. And what you're going to see is this kind of motion there, where hogs they might come back to this air defense. They might go into the Tesla and then head into the other air defenses and expos over here, and then hop over to the air sweeper, in which case they'll trigger one at a time. I think that section definitely needs some work if that's where you're planning on keeping them. One thing that you might consider doing to help pathing is to take this Tesla here, and instead of putting it in the back of that compartment, put it in the front. That way, when the hogs path in, they path to this archer tower, then to this one, then to the Tesla, then they will go to this air defense, and then it's just a question of can you move this defense farther back into the core a little bit so that the next closest building is that air sweeper over there. So as far as this base goes, there's a lot that can be improved on, and I feel like there's not enough room in the base for things to kind of be improved enough to make it viable against a very good attacker. So in this particular scenario, I'm going to recommend scrapping the base, starting over, and coming up with something new. So tough luck on that. Don't take it personally. I can't tell you how many times that I have scrapped my own base right after making it, looking at it and being like, I hate this thing. So looking at the next base, this is going to be a Town Hall 8 base, and basically we have a anti-3-star Town Hall 8 here. And again, we'll look at it from the same way. Let's look at it from the ground and from the air. And first off, we'll analyze the ground, because hogs are prevalent at Town Hall 8, and that is kind of what is working, I guess you would say. So double giant bomb positions here, here where they're at. And that looks to be about it for double giant bomb positions. So you've got one that really makes sense, and that is where the double giant bomb is. So you're not really disguising where you're putting the bombs, but at the same time, you're making it difficult to access, because this here is in the core, and it's not going to be easily pre-triggered because of all of these defenses that you would have to go through in this ring in order to get to that bomb position. So looking at the pathing to that bomb set, you've done a very, very key thing here, and you've created a buffer area in the front of the double bomb set with some resource buildings or non-defensive buildings. What that does is causes hogs, anywhere they come into this this ring here, they will path around the ring just like this, and then they'll finally choose to come in. And when they get to that spot, as they're starting to approach that position, and then they approach it, they come from the side of it, and then the next thing that they're going to do is go across. So very, very good job on the pathing there. The same thing applies to the other side. You get to the cannon, and whether or not they go to the wizard tower here, here, I mean, it looks like they're going to trigger both of those bombs at the same time, regardless of which way they come from the double giant bomb position. So very good job on the pathing. Look at the air. The defenses are here, here, and here. The two in the core are well protected. We've got one kind of out on the flank, and we can key on that one. Having a hidden Tesla near an air defense that looks easily accessible is a good thing. What I would do is recommend, just like in the last base, moving this Tesla up a little bit so that it's closer to this wall. That way, if they intend to drag loon you, for example, and they drop in loons from here, it will hit that cannon, hit the Tesla, and then maybe, in addition to moving the Tesla up, also take this archer tower and move it up here so that it is closer. It'll look something like that, and then you've got a tile space behind that archer tower. So now that the balloons have gone to this Tesla, they transfer over here and kind of circle around that air defense. That will buy you enough time in order to kind of, make that a better defended area. So it's very, very subtle as far as moving the, defense buildings around, but I think that could really help kind of protect that position. The other two are fairly well protected, and that defensive ring works nicely as far as luring balloons the same way, kind of around the ring, rather than to the air defenses. They continue to kind of go around the ring. The first chance they really get to jump in is right here, and same thing on the other side off this cannon here. So if they don't take out these buildings first and they get to this cannon, it's going to circle as well. So pretty dang good job with the pathing here. I like this base for the most part. Looking at the other traps, we've got the air mines out towards the edge, which I do like, and he's stacked them towards the town hall side, which a dragon attacker in most scenarios is going to attack from the town hall side, just so that they can get the 2-star in the bag. And say they make it, only to here, and they leave up this back side, they still got the 2 stars. So stacking the air mines out towards the edge will allow the defender to inflict as much damage as possible quickly to those drags, so there are less of them doing damage to the base at one time, and they will more quickly be taken out. So all in all, this is a pretty good base. I highly like the pathing through the bomb sets. The air defenses, you might work on that left position a little bit, but for the most part, I think you're pretty good with this base. The spring traps look really good. All in all, one thing, pull it up here. One thing we could do is take these air bombs here, and rather than have them spread throughout the base here, clump them up where it's going to be obvious that a drag loon, where the loons are going to come in. The drags are going to get kind of tied up on these buildings, but will be in range of this air defense. So, basically clump up your balloon traps, your air bombs, clump them all up in the same area. That way, when a balloon set comes in, all of those things get triggered at the same time, and those balloons get wiped out, and your air defense survives. So that's a little trick that I use quite a bit, is to pick a spot that's obvious that balloons are going to come into the base, and then they get taken out quickly, and their mission was not accomplished. So when it comes to this base, you guys kind of heard some of the feedback that I had. I would prefer to tweak this base. Definitely keep it. There's some really minor stuff that you can do, and then that's going to become a keep after we make just a very, very small few adjustments. So really nice job. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next base, and we will look at a Town Hall 8. So again, this is another Town Hall 8. I'm going to do the very same thing. It's got a centralized clan castle that makes it difficult to lure, which is good. But we've got double giant bombs here, and that's really the only potential in the entire base. Now, that's a bad thing because, one, those double giant bombs are not in between 2 defense buildings. They are between a resource building and a defense building, which means I could send in my entire wad of hogs to this archer tower and then path away to the mortar, and they would never even cross that position. Preferably, though, you would send in, 4 hogs for a lure here, since there's really no other defenses in range. Take out this building, and they path, wherever they path, maybe they do trigger that double giant bomb position, and it's out of the fight. So a very, very easy double giant bomb trigger. Singles can be, a lot of different places in the base. But it really doesn't matter. You can almost reactively, once you know that double's taken care of, that eliminates the need to heal anywhere in that section because there's nothing that can hurt the hogs. So knowing that there's a single potential location in there and some, defense buildings that are clustered up. You can drop a heel there, you can drop a heel there, and then you can drop a heel here, and you are good to go. So I don't like the bomb positioning there. Too easy to trigger, not sucked up into the core enough, and far too few decoy. So, it's really easy to look at the base and know what's going on. So looking at it from an air perspective, we've got, we're disregarding the fact that it's a level 1 air defense. He's obviously a newer Town Hall 8, so I don't really care about the level of things. The air defense positioning, though, in my opinion, needs a little bit of work, simply because there aren't enough buildings down here that is really going to keep... he could just path things in so easily. It's 1 or 2 hops and things are to the air defense, rather than having any distractions at all, or any hidden Teslas pop up or anything like that. The air bombs, you've got one here. Let's put one here, and then where is the other one? Where did that go? There we go, over here. So kind of spread out. I don't know if there's a real rhyme or reason to any of it. If it were me, I would probably again stack the air bombs. These red guys here, I would stack them in an area that looks like it might be, targeted by loons. So this area over here is probably a prime target for loons, and that Tesla being out in the front like that is a great spot to put those air bombs, like right here. And the reason for that is this guy thinks he's probably got a straight shot through that archer tower into the air defense, and instead it's going to redirect here, and those splash bombs will take out all of his balloons. So that would be a great spot for that. As far as the rest of the base, not bad. The fact that it's got an off-center town hall, that's good. It's going to be a little bit weak to go wipe, obviously, because of the walls, but you've got an open compartment that goes basically half the base, so that's going to be a little bit difficult. And then I don't know, I just think this base needs a lot of work. Probably going to need to go back to the drawing board. So no real mystery here as far as what we're going to choose. This one's going to be a scrap. Take it back to the drawing board, get that double giant bomb sucked a little bit more into the base, and then work on the pathing to it so that it's in between 2 defense buildings, and you're going to actually have hogs path over that hazard. Otherwise, it's pointless to even include. You might as well just have 3 singles. So that's going to be it for base number 3. Let's look at base number 4, and this is a very popular style base. It's very similar to the Chinese PCB bases, which stands for Popular Chinese Base. It is kind of like an internet base, but this one does have a few variations to it. The first thing that you're going to want to look at is obviously the clan castle is not quite centered. It's kind of sharing with the town hall compartment. So a good lure would be in here to this archer tower, and that's going to be in range of that clan castle. No problem. Taking that out and then pathing wherever will get the lure done. As far as the queen is concerned, she's down here in the bottom of the core. And now that core is going to basically allow you to approach anywhere you want in the base. Now, what I mean by that is you can drop a jump spell here, 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 or here. Obviously, you're not going to take 4 jump spells, but that means you can pick a corner. Which side do you want to approach the base from? Which side do you feel that you can get the most value from? Where you're going to be walking through the most potential giant bombs. Now, you don't know where those giant bombs are going to be when you choose to hit this base, but you will be able to muster a guess that they are going to be opposite the queen. So having the queen in the bottom of the core like that, and knowing that most entries will come to get her straight away, this would be a very, very safe bet, one of these angles here, to get that queen taken care of. Now, he's done the obvious thing and moved the giant bombs away from that, but what he's got in this base is a very, very difficult to assess base layout, because you've got a whole huge spot here, and these are 6 tile spaces, in each of these compartments that you could have potential double giant bombs and or Teslas because there's space for it. And then in the outer compartments, in a few of them, you've got room for singles, and that is a lot of potential giant bombs to deal with in this base. So one thing that I like about this base is that there's so many decoys. You don't know if you're hitting this for the first time, you don't know where anything is going to be, so you take your best guess. For me, I typically, if I can get to the queen from the far side of the base, now typically you need better, higher level heroes to do this, I will do that. You'll look at clues that the defender leaves you. The biggest clues that you can find are the storages. Where is he putting them to make it hard for you to get in? And you'll notice that he's stacked 6 of the 9 storages on the bottom side, on the left and the right side here. So going through this angle here is probably not going to be super great. It can be done, but you're not going to get as much as you would taken out if you were to choose a different angle to go into this base. Now the same thing from the bottom right. Lots of storages to deal with, plus the town hall. The queen will hop out, but it's just going to be a tough road to hoe. So for me, I typically look at clues like that, and then I head from the opposite side of the base. He left you a nice anchor point out here with this cannon to go ahead and drop a golem onto, maybe a golem onto the other side here, and then break this wall up here. And then once that's done, you go ahead and grab the jump spell and head on into the base. Now the king is going to, lock onto that queen as she moves over. She's going to walk all the way up to basically next to this clan castle, somewhere in this area, and be shooting all the way out, probably, into this, just past the mortar here. So, she's going to get the attention as this upper compartment is cleared out, and there's not as many storages to move through. So with the jump spell positioned as it is, you're going to see golems split depending on where they're at. They're probably going to go more towards the left side, but they also could go to the right here. And as long as this building and this building go down, both of those giant bomb sets are ruined. So there are some risks there, especially to having 2 doubles. You might consider breaking up one of those double sets and putting 2 singles. That way, you can spread more risk throughout the base. Put maybe 1 single over in front of the queen on the bottom left where there's more storages covering it. Yeah, so that's kind of, the ground portion of it. Some other things that you might be able to do to prevent, somebody like me that's going to wall break in. You might put a spring trap outside the wall on the corners, and that is going to eliminate wall breakers and potentially cause a fail right off the bat, because there's so many buildings now that the queen is going to do a little walk, and if the wall breakers fail, she's going to circle the base and your whole raid could be shot right off the bat. So possibly move some spring traps outside. That's kind of what I like to do to wreck some of the key components, which is get some spring traps and little bombs rather than using them in the base. Get those little bombs out on the potential spots for wall breakers to hit. So those are some tips for you. As far as the air defense is concerned, pretty evenly spread air defenses here. The one concern that I would have here is a single jump spell. Now check this out right here. That is going to open up. You send in a golem. First you send it to this cannon and then to this wizard tower there. Let them bang. Let the wizards create the funnel on the sides. So you're going to have about 4 wizards, and you'll drop them here, something like that. And then drop the jump spell, and then the golems head in. And then basically what you're getting for that is you're getting this air defense, both of these Teslas, the Expo, potentially the sweeper, the queen, and the CC. So the air portion of it is crippled. That's how I would hit this base. And then notice when you head in to take this base out, you've chosen to kind of like hedge, I guess you would call it. You've chosen to hedge on the bottom as far as you expect the attackers to come from this direction. So make sure that the air mines are placed accordingly. Move those to the other air defenses in the base. You want them to be kind of skewed. I guess this one is kind of on the top. The air defenses are rotated in such a fashion that these three are all kind of vulnerable to an entry on that side. So that's something that you might consider swapping. Maybe move this air defense up a little bit higher to the king platform, move the king platform down, and then maybe swap this air defense and that expo. Not sure exactly how to work that, but that might help you with your air raids, because right now as it sits, to me, I would actually bring an air attack on this base and head in through this lane right here and try to wipe out basically everything in there. Shattered entry with the 2 golems. So hopefully this has been helpful. As far as your base is concerned, the verdict on this one, I think you've got a good base here. I think with a couple tweaks, it could be really solid. Yes, it's a common base. Yes, it can be beat with like Surgical Hogs. It can be beat with Walloon. But most bases can, and it is not an easy base to look at for the first time and see where everything is at, due to having so many decoy positions. Now that's something that's the reason that base design style got so popular, especially in China. Was the fact that it works. So nice job with the design. Maybe a few tweaks, but for the most part, good job. Hopefully it works out for you. So guys, to submit your base to me, check out bendlechat.com, download it, and meet me in Powerbang Gaming, and we'll make sure to hook you up with a base review. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the episode. For now, this is Powerbang, and until next time, I am signing out. Take care.
Thanks so much, guys, for checking out my video. If you feel like you learned something here today and you're a better attacker for having watched it, your clanmates will probably feel the exact same way. So do me a favor, share this video with them, get them to the channel, and chances are your clan's going to be exploding for 3 stars from top to bottom before you know it. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.